This real life drama has so many red flags. I am seeing red. And good news for you, these are your red flags. Not yours, but like red flags in your life stories. They're your stories is what I'm trying to say. First up, we have a story from Donald. I found out my girlfriend is actually my sister. Donald, I'm not sure I am prepared for this moment. Should this not say ex-girlfriend? We'll see. We'll see. I know you must have a lot of questions, so I'll just get right into it. You could say that. This circus is one wild ride. This happened in 2016 when I, 22 male, was dating my girlfriend, who later turned out to be my sister, Sydney, 25 female. To provide context, I grew up as an only child. My mother went through menopause shortly after I was born, and I was just always under the impression that I was an only child. My parents have been married for 29 years and they've never cheated on each other, so this all resulted from a previously fling my dad had before he met my mom. I come from a huge Irish Catholic family. As we always say, we put the fun in dysfunction. That is hilarious. My grandpa was married twice before he married my grandma and has kids from his previous marriage who I had never met until I was an adult. One time, I went to my dad's family reunion and I met so many of my cousins and relatives that I didn't know existed, and neither did he. Not to disrespect my grandfather's character, but he was a ladies' man and he had his way with plenty of them early on in his younger days. So my dad always had the suspicion that there are relatives of ours out there that we don't know about. Anyway, this all came ahead when I met Sydney. We met at a social gathering through our church and we immediately connected. If you looked at us side by side, we do look alike. Sydney told me her family was Irish Catholic as well, and I found that somewhat surprising, but the thought of having possible siblings never crossed my mind. A couple of weeks passed and I eventually brought Sydney home with me to introduce her to my parents. I'm not kidding. As soon as my dad laid eyes on her, he looked as if he was going to have a heart attack. When I asked him what was wrong, he dropped the bombshell. I think you're dating one of your relatives. I stood there confused because I never met Sydney before I did, and I've never known anyone by that name. Personally, I do believe everyone is related in some capacity because humans have common ancestors, so I don't see it as much of a big deal unless it involves immediate family members. The second piece to the puzzle came when Sydney told me that her mother told her that her birth father broke up with her mother not long before she was pregnant. That was when the alarm bells were ringing in my head. I asked my dad if he dated a woman with the same name as Sydney's mother, and it turns out my dad did date one while in college. I'm telling you that she's related to us, but I don't know how. I asked Sydney if she would mind taking a DNA test with us, and she agreed to. 3 weeks passed and we got back the results, and it was a match. Sydney was indeed my half-sister. Her mother was an ex that my dad dated while in college, and she never told him anything about her. No one knew. When I saw the results, I threw up in my mouth because I realized I was dating someone with half of my flesh and blood. Sydney is beautiful and a loving woman, but I wouldn't date her because that would be not only wrong, but a huge disrespectful thing to do to my dad. To this day, me and Sydney have a great sibling relationship and we still laugh about how we met. I never thought I would meet a relative in this way, but it's been great being a brother because I get to have someone in my corner who I can trust and always count on for being there for me. There's still a lot of questions to be answered, but this whole experience reminded me to not get intimate with anyone until marriage. I thought it was going to be, like there was gonna be more depth to your relationship. You guys were in the very beginning of the dating phases, which makes it a little better. I have a half brother, you guys, so all that's going on in my head is bleh. Love him, I like that. My husband cheated on me with my stepmother. Oh, forgot to give you a shout out, girl. This one came from Haley. I really don't know where to start, so I'll just cut right to the chase. I, 34 female, found out that my husband, we'll call him David, 36 male, has been cheating on me with my stepmother. We'll call her Lisa, 53 female. The discovery has turned my world upside down, and I'm struggling to process everything. I'd always felt something was off in my marriage for the past few months. My husband, Dave, was becoming distant and secretive. I brushed it off as stress from work or maybe some midlife crisis. In hindsight, a huge mistake. One night, I accidentally saw a message on his phone from Lisa that caught my eye. It was nothing explicit, but it was clear from the context that there was something going on between them. I knew I had to investigate to see just what it was. Confronting Dave was one of the hardest things I've ever done. He admitted to the affair, saying it started about 6 months ago. He said it just happened and that he still loved me. Why do cheaters think that that's like a good thing? Yes, I cheated, but I still love you. I'd rather you not. I'd rather you not love me and cheat on me than be in love with me and still cheat on me. What a typical cheating excuse. Yes. The betrayal cut too deep because Lisa has been in my life since I was 15 and has always been like a second mother to me. She had been in my life since I was 15 when my mother passed away from cancer. I'm so sorry. I feel completely lost and I don't know what to do. I called my father immediately. He was devastated and furious, but also supportive. He kicked Lisa out of their house and we've been trying to figure out what to do next. I can't even look at Dave right now. I've already kicked him out of the house and I've called a divorce lawyer to discuss further options, but I don't feel like I should have to give up half of my income or assets because of what Dave did to me. Cheaters shouldn't be rewarded. They should be punished harshly. I agree. I said it should be illegal. I really think that. There should be laws in place that protect married parties that were victims of cheating. That is what I'm saying. I'm still trying to gather myself and work through this whole mess. I just hope if you feel like your spouse or significant other is becoming distant and secretive, talk to them. If they're not fully engaged with you anymore, it's time to leave. Forget this loser. That's easier said than done. Your mother, who knows what you went through with your birth mother, and she came into your life, took the role, is like a mother to you, and still does this to you. Shame. Shame on her. Not to mention your father lost his previous wife to a terrible disease, and then his new wife I can't. I'm thinking about all the sides. And as a dad, you'd be so mad that your new wife hurt your daughter like that because you love your freaking daughter and you just want to kill the son-in-law. Oh, I'm stressed for you. I'm so sorry. I wish I could give you a hug. Next up is Anonymous. My ex's new wife is obsessed with me. Same. I'm just kidding. None of my exes are married. We're not throwing shade, Joce. Maybe a little bit, but they deserve it. I know how this sounds and I know how it usually is the woman in my position who is the jealous one. But here's the story. I, 32 female, and my ex, 40 male, dated on and off for 9 years. We have 1 child together and I have 1 and he is 3 from previous relationships. Our relationship was very toxic, abusive, manipulative, etc. Any way a man can betray a woman, he did. The first few years I partook in the toxicity, but I broke up with him and we separated for 3 years. I grew up a lot, we dated other people, and I found happiness alone. So when we gave it one last try, I was a different woman. I thought he was different too, but within 9 months, he was back to his abusive, toxic self. The reason I say all that is because I want it to be clear that I did nothing to deserve all that happened next. He breaks up with me abruptly on our 1-year anniversary. I was devastated, but I knew in my heart we could never be happy long term because of how he was. He cheated on me, he made me feel worthless, played all kinds of toxic games. He would always break up with me to get me to go crazy and chase him to boost his ego. I don't got time or energy for that. I was tired of the games and I did not fight for him. About a month after the breakup, he calls me to brag that he is in a new relationship. I was devastated, but I knew this was the moment that I needed to move on. It killed me that I still loved someone who treated me like absolute trash. Turns out him leaving was the greatest blessing. One thing I do need to note is that my ex does not co-parent with me in any way. His parents do all the pickups, drop-offs, and buy my son's clothes. He barely even sees our son. Our son barely realizes he has a dad. About 4 months later, my brother-in-law, who is the one who introduced me to my ex, told me that he knows the girl my ex is dating and that they just broke up because the ex was talking to other women. He was curious if it was me, and I said no, there is never any chance of that again. 2 months later, brother-in-law reaches out to me to tell me they got married. I thought it was hilarious since they just broke up and it was only 6 months in. At this point, I am no longer heartbroken, so I find this funny. About a month or so later, my ex's parents are to be picking up my son, but they told me they needed to send an ex today. All of a sudden, a woman I don't know is at my door. She tells me she is my ex's new wife and she is there to get my son. I was so mad. How dare he send a woman I do not know to my home to get my son? I don't know you. I was so mad and felt disrespected and felt like my ex should have given me the courtesy call and asked if I was okay with meeting her. I would have said yes, but on neutral ground. I am weird about people in my home. This is my safe space, my haven, and I don't like negativity there. I felt like I couldn't say anything though, because then it would just look like I'm angry because he has a new wife and not because of the situation. My son won't go with her anyway, so I tell her she must go get my ex. My son absolutely will not go with them, and my ex tells me that if he changes his mind, to call the grandparents and he would come back and get him. I thought it was weird that I wouldn't just call him, but whatever. I also want to add that this is the first time I have seen or talked to my ex since the night he told me that he was dating her. Now, about another month or so, his new wife messages me asking if we can talk. I tell her yes, and she asks me if my ex and I are talking. Woman to woman, I knew what it took to reach out and ask that, so I was kind and I tried to reassure her that she had nothing to worry about with me. We were done. My life was absolutely thriving with him gone, and I never want to go back to that. A couple of months later, my ex's mom comes to pick up my son and tells me they have broken up because of me. I am so confused because I have had no contact with him or even her since that one message. Ex's mom tells me that on Thursday, ex plugged in his hair clippers, and on a Friday, I had asked ex's parents to either cut my son's hair or have ex do it. To my ex's new wife, that was proof that we had been talking, because how would he know to plug his clippers in? Oh, girl's crazy. Girl's a little cuckoo bonkers. She left with all her stuff. My ex's mom is telling me that apparently she accuses him of talking to me / seeing me every single day, multiple times a day. Apparently, he had to quit his job and work with her, sell his car and share with her, and get rid of his phone and share with her. So now sharing a car and sharing a phone. Look, sharing is caring, but no thank you. So they were together 24/7 with him having no way to contact anyone privately. I thought the situation was funny because his karma is coming to him finally. A couple of days after hearing this, the new wife messaged me again. This time the message was more of, just tell me you guys are talking because I know you are. We spoke a lot this time, and I spent the entire day not only reassuring her that there was nothing there for me, but this time I told her a lot of the nasty stuff he had done to me. I warned her that because I am the ex, I feel like I can't say much because it would look like I was just trying to break them up. So only ask what you want the real answer to, because I won't offer it up. But if you ask, I will be honest. I noticed that she makes a point to say, I asked him if he wanted to be with you, but he says no. A little while later, a day before Christmas, I am spending time with my kids and family when I get a call from her messenger. It is the ex. This is the first time I have talked to him since they were at my house that one day, and since he told me he was dating her. He tells me she's there on speakerphone and wants me to confirm that we don't talk, and wants to make a point to tell me that he loves his wife and that's who he wants to be with. I thought that was ridiculous to call an ex you haven't talked to in so long to say, I love my wife. I would hope so. About a month later, at 1:30 a.m. one night while I was sleeping, my ex showed up at my house unannounced. I am so confused. I let him come in because he said he needed to talk. At 1:30 a.m., I'm pretty nervous. It turns out he's having a mental breakdown and says I am the only person he's ever able to talk to. He says his new wife is driving him crazy about me and that he is just lost on what to do. He tells me all these stories about her crap talking to me and that she has even encouraged him to try and take custody of my son. She hates me with a passion just because I am his ex, and he said that she brings me up multiple times a day. He tells me that fights get so explosive that they get physical and that she tried to beat him with a frying pan and he had to slam her to the ground, breaking her rib. This took a dark turn here. I don't know what to do. I don't want him back, but I know what it feels like to feel so lost and have no one to talk to. So I just gave a listening ear, and that's all. I also tell him that if she does ask again about us talking, I would be honest. He says he is thinking of divorce, but isn't there yet. Really? What is it gonna take for you to get there? He did give me some closure on our relationship that I haven't gotten, but I told him that conversation was 1.5 years too late. We hugged goodbye, and that was the end of it. There was no talk of getting back together, and I even encouraged him to get them both in counseling to work it out. That they are married now, and for the sanctity of marriage, they needed to work it out. Honestly, they made their bed by getting married so soon, so they need to lie in it. I am also not interested in being with a man who had a choice between me and another woman and married her. He did mention one thing that I did not know. I always assumed a new wife did not happen until after me. It turns out she had started working at his work a couple of months before we broke up and knew about me and would try to get him to hang out with her. Even trying to get him to go to the fair the same night he was supposed to go with me and my kids, knowing I would be there and my kids and I would see them. As crappy of a man as he is, he at least drew the line with that and would not do that to me. I've always felt that the woman your ex starts dating shouldn't automatically be the enemy unless she encouraged him to cheat or leave you. Ex also told me that the new wife would try to find dirt on me to go back to him and say, why would you want to be with a girl that did so-and-so? Girl, get over it. Get over it. Oh, I can't handle that. You are much nicer than I am. I am angry that I've been so kind to this woman and this is how she acted about me behind my back, despite not even knowing me. Ex told me there were several other girls that she had been jealous of and he had to go and tell them there was no chance because he loved his wife. He had never even spoken to some of these women. Girl is insecure and has some serious trust issues. Apparently her problem with me was so bad because she knew he still cared about me. Sure. The next day, my brother-in-law tells me that new wife is reaching out to him now, trying to get dirt on me. And I tell him about my ex coming to my house. He tells new wife this. She calls me. We speak for a long time. Girl, block her number. This is irrelevant. Oh, I guess she's gonna be around your kid though. Oh. I told her the truth, that he did come over, but that it was not about us getting back together. I told her that I did not appreciate the way that she's been talking about me when I had been kind to her. She tried to convince me that my ex wants me and her to hate each other and fight over him. Some of the stuff she is saying makes sense. He did always have a way of causing drama. While she and I are dealing with the aftermath of him coming over and pulling me into the drama, he is just sitting back, enjoying the drama that he caused. She tells me about the mistreatment she has gotten from him and that he has broken her rib, blacked her eyes, and that he just purposely tries to make her jealous. How about we both leave this man and block him and never speak to him again? Have him arrested. They both have vastly different stories about the same things. I am beginning to see her side and feel for her. But I tell her I don't want any part of the drama and I just want to leave that part of my life behind. I tell her that I know what she is going through and that if she needs someone, I am here. I honestly did not think she would call me again, but for the next month, it was constant. She would call me for every little thing he did, but she would be so dramatic about it. After a month of this, I felt like I was just repeating the same things to her over and over, and that it wasn't fair to me to expect me to be her friend or confidant for her relationship with my ex. Every conversation, she makes it a point to once again say, I've asked if he wants to be with you, and he says no. I start getting the feeling that she loves the drama as much as him and that they are both fire and gasoline. I feel like all the time I've spent rehashing my trauma was not to help her like she made me think, but because she wanted confirmation that he did not treat me better than her. She needed to know that he did not treat me like a queen while treating her like crap. I started noticing that they both like playing games and making the other one jealous. I desperately just wanted to leave that whole relationship and everything with it, besides my son, in the past. I told her that she has the tools and knowledge now, she needs to decide what to do with it, but that I wanted to leave from here on out. About a month or so later, I get another call from her, but it was him this time. He tells me that he should not have come to my house that one night because it was disrespectful to her. Yes, it was, but it was also disrespectful to me. He tried to use me to get at her. The fact he was not apologizing to me also showed that he didn't actually see what he did wrong and that he was just trying to appease her. I 100% believe she made him call me because she needed me to know that they were still together. I have gotten the feeling from talking with her, my ex's parents, and my brother-in-law that she needs me to know they are together and that he does not want me. Girl, you can have him. That she came to my house that one time because she needed to make sure I knew that they were married now. I have been told by all those people that I live rent-free in her head and that she's obsessed with me, constantly talking about me and asking about me despite spending hours trying to comfort and reassure her even after finding out all the crap she had talked about me. At this point, I am over it. I was over it a long time ago for you. I tell him to leave me the F alone, that they both need to leave me alone and leave me out of their drama. About this time, I started noticing that I was getting friend requests from random new profiles. I know there are scammers, but I rarely get those, and this was timing. I would get a request from a guy, but then the info would say female. I also see that one of the accounts the new wife has messaged me from before is now under a whole new name with a fake profile. I feel like she's creating fake profiles to try to add me. I also have a website that shows me the IP address and the location of who visits it. She has consistently gone to it. I blocked her. I'm hoping they have both gotten the hint to leave me alone. I think that they are the worst and best things for each other. I think they are so toxic and there's so much drama that it could get one of them killed one day. I think my ex has finally met the girl who he will not be able to abuse and manipulate the way he has everyone else. But I think they are best for each other because I don't want either of them inflicted on another innocent man or woman. I want to continue living my life with my kids where we are absolutely thriving without him. Do not answer another call from this woman. Are you kidding? I will personally come over there, block her, I'll do it myself. I'll do all the work. I don't know the legal situation with the ex because he is your son's father, but her, she can f off. Respectfully. Or not. Well, yeah, that has a lot of red flags, yes. Very fitting for this video, unfortunately. Stay classy out there, you guys. Stay sassy. I'll see you in the comment section.